hold up a second. It changes your mentality to the degree that whenever the idea of life or death is mentioned to you, you automatically relate it to the cause and liberation of your people. And that's something that, if you meditate on that, what our definition of death is, what our definition of dying is, what do we think people will feel about the fact of us not being on the earth again? Oh, she was so young, he was so young. What is the lesson in that? Those are the questions that matter, because it's that side of your mind that your true leadership is found. Go ahead, brother, what you was going to say.
I mean, once we establish the organization in Africa, and we cut the Europeans from taking our resource and...
Right. You remember what Dr. Arthur Lewis said, right? Let's go over that real quick. Dr. Arthur Lewis...
90% of all the minerals on the second 2/3 of Africa.
Right. From here down, 90% of the minerals. Wow. Your cobalt, your manganese, your uranium, your gold, your copper. Mostly here in the Congo, in the Katanga province, in the Congo Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of the Congo, Katanga. Here, Lubumbashi is the center. There's a railroad through Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Botswana to South Africa. 220 million tons of copper a year. Dr. Arthur Lewis said if you cut that connection off, Japan dies in 6 months, Western Europe dies in 6 months, and America dies in a year.
Oh, so that's why Lumumba wanted to get them out of the Congo.
He didn't even understand. They hadn't even done the geological surveys on the Congo then. It was just a great mass of land, during that time. They didn't understand that yet. They thought maybe all of the continent may have been just like that. The technical information is what I'm saying. The technical information is what made the difference in all of these situations. If you looking at a place that's in Nigeria and it's got great oil deposits, you say, boy, here come that cracker. He coming, he want this oil. So I'm going to move down in the Cameroon. And I'm going to sit there. I just crossed the border. It's a whole bunch of political shit that got to do with where the border is and all that. All I know is I got my people out of danger. And then we can sit here now and think about what move we can make next. And this is one thing that Dr. John Henry Clark said. He said that by being born outside of the continent, you dream about the whole thing. So, as a diasporan African, looking at the map after going over all of it, the Arab-dominated North and East, the goddamn criminal settler colony of South Africa. And within the last 18 months, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Ivory Coast have been invaded by crackers. They went in there motherfucking on the news, on CNN, motherfucking with Nigeria with them. And Dr. Clark said before he died, he said, next time that the crackers come to Africa, they're going to have an African army helping the invaders within the country that they're invading, and they're going to have an African army with the invaders. And Nigeria done played their role every time.
Alright. Well, that's an issue we're going to have to solve in order for us to keep
coalesce.
Yeah. I mean, so once we are taking away all the bread from the Europeans, what's going to happen next? Because we're looking at a real world war, not a European war.
Yeah. They're going to drop it, but we can sustain it. They tested the damn thing in Pretoria. They've already tested it. They've proven that they got the bomb.
With their allies in, what was it that their allies on?
Israel.
Israel
at the front door of Africa. And South Africa at the back door. And both of them got the bomb. So that's politically the situation.
So at the same time, we're going to have a strong military, like Sheikh Anta Diop in Black Africa was saying.
Well, we demonstrated that, as Dr. Arthur Lewis said.
Tell me about
17
Angola.
core African countries
Got together to get
rid of Mobutu out of the Congo. So we have the potential and have demonstrated it. So that region now has been disrupted again from the north and the Great Lakes region. You hear them talking about it now. They have 10,000 UN troops back here in this area. We know about the genocide in Rwanda. Not the genocide done by black people, but if you remember what Dr. Arthur Lewis said, them crackers was gassing folks. Ain't no damn black folks gonna kill no 800,000 people.
First of all, we don't have weapons like that.
You them 800,000 people, man. Man, that's a lot of people, man.
You're looking at almost 1 million people.
We're not capable of that.
4 times the amount of crackers that were killed in Angola.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry about that. 8 times.
8 times.
The amount of crackers that was killed in Angola.
You crazy.
So,
don't believe that.
That's another story too.
Okay.
Well, we definitely need the Pan-African Lodge in Africa, as we can see, because if we don't act now, in the next 5-10 years, all the resources in Africa will be completely stripped out.
That's right. That's right. I mean, not only that. I mean, my thing and the elders who I respect. I want to say, my brother Tupac and brother Amos Wilson, John Henry Clark, Colin Muhammad, everybody who has the nuts enough to say to me that, hey, this white man trying to wipe all of y'all out. He don't want one black nigga left on the planet. There is no way that African people, I mean, with all of the evidence that's there, even if you want to go by the Bible, use the cracker Bible. Ain't nobody else been in bondage 400 years nowhere but us. You know what I'm saying? And the Arab ain't there, Asian, ain't nobody been there but us.
Have you heard the white man tell you about those 400
I know a cracker been locked up in a cage 20,000 years now. I know something about that. Can you imagine that? Come on now, let's break it down. And this one make Diop real. Where the Diop? Sister Abana.
She got to Diop Black.
No, not the Black Africa. Over there. Right? There you go.
Civilization.
There you go. Okay, how about this for the camera? Can you see Brother Tut?
Oh, look, y'all look like twins. That look like twins. That's cool though.
That's peace.
Brother Thutmose. Brother Thutmose, they call him, how the hell, if you was born before another motherfucker, don't they supposed to be like the new you? Why they call him the Napoleon of antiquity? Why they, cause he whooped them Arabs' ass and ran their ass out of Egypt. And see, what like Walter Williams say, he ain't that damn crazy. He telling the damn truth. We ain't gonna be great until we reconnect again with being ancient Egyptians. Fill me up, cuz. Until the knowledge and the technology and the industry that they possess, we possess again. I forgot who was saying that, but it was like, because the African Americans were shipped here the way they were, and because of the amalgamation among the African races that were here, that it created a genetic structure that was able to intake all of the science of the continent. And that's what makes us special. So, I mean, I believe that, not based on, me believing something. It's because I have the knowledge of it. When you have a brother like Sheikh and Diab who say, give me radiocarbon dating, and if you want to take it as any type of corporate philosophy, you can, because a philosophy, if it's African, can be proved scientifically. The radiocarbon dating break down to 666, the radiocarbon atoms, the element of life. There's no way to deny the dates of the bones and the melanin and the cells of the mummies that the brother gave us, it must have been a hell of a switch too, because you know Brother D.I. was married to a white bro. I always say that. He told the French white man, look, you got me, but I love this shit. I'm a scientist, so you can give me your little cave bitch and let me get my little lab and we can call it even. And I love him for it.
Oh well.
So, evidence of who we are. On the conscious mix, the brother said there's two things. He said we bypass two levels with knowledge. You know, by actually knowing something, not having a belief in it, linking science and religion, as they say. Having the empirical proof of spiritual evidence. Hey, let's say it right now. Okay, Sister Tasha, if we get on the outside circle and put them children in there on the inside circle and have them turn in one direction one way, and we turn the other way on the outside circle 13 times, the vortex gonna open. Empirically, not because I said so and it's some voodoo shit. I just been around enough motherfuckers to know that when you do that shit, it does happen. Burn a little sage, you know, with it. So, the Pan-African Lodge, as its corporate philosophy, is based upon principles among our elders and scholars and researchers that are provable based on knowledge. That same knowledge of self that the Egyptians spoke of when they said, man, know thyself. So we bypass two levels. The level of those who are believers, who just go off you the Quran and the Bible and say, yeah, believe, because Jesus says so. Assalamu alaikum. And the second level, or problem or situation that we have to deal with is, in that training of our people, is getting to the higher level of consciousness. Getting to the higher level of consciousness. That means getting in a regimen, the eating and the not drinking and all of the shit that we talk about as far as being holistic and conscious and all that shit don't mean nothing if your ass don't sit down and concentrate on what you're supposed to be able to do, and by that nutritional regimen, by that exercise regimen, by that meditation regimen, you are able to concentrate for extended periods of time on subject matter that when you get up from there, right then, not after no time, right then, because we the original human beings of the universe and endowed with the image of God and printed on our spirit. As soon as we partake in a degree of knowledge, we're able to produce in it. So, if we are being holistic and conscious and doing all these things, it should be for the reasoning of partaking in this knowledge to develop ourselves as people and as a nation. And saying, also, go ahead.
Yeah, we also talk about trade before we.
Mm-hmm.
What are we trading?
Remember, aid organization, so that ain't got nothing to do with no trade. We providing aid to our people.
All right.
Scientific research and development is what we trade. We saying that, brother Bomani, we say nigga, Delta. Nigga.
So we gotta learn how to build a jet engine, a jet, different factories.
Nigga, take over the interview then. Shit, you want to come get in front of the camera, I get back there. I'm telling you now. Because that's what the fuck matter. It don't matter about, man, knowing your history. If a nigga said Bomani, brother Bomani, the revolutionary brother, he flipped out the other day. He said, fuck all that Africa shit. He ain't with that shit, because niggas ain't gonna do nothing anyway. So he ain't getting killed behind that shit. But he want to start him a jet plane manufacturing company. Well, or just an engine. He looked at that shit and draw that shit down. He been fucking with him so long. He know how to make that shit. So he said he gonna go assemble all the parts. He got supplies from all over the world. He put that shit together. And he said the nigga said fuck Africa when he came in the door. I'm gonna have a red carpet out for the nigga and everything, because it don't matter to me no more. You can't inspire me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing you can say. After the cracker said, you know, I think what broke through my brain when, you know, I'm in, you know, Sister Tandy we can tell you, when they said they killed, I mean, but it was the Indian when they said, you know, they killed all the Caribs, you know, what they did in the Caribbean after, you know, the Caribbeans. You know, that hit me. I was like, God damn, you know, ain't none of them left. But you know, niggas still a little racist, so he could say, them Indians, them ain't no Africans. These Africans, they had to come get us, you know, to maintain the farm. So we survived. But when they said the Tasmanian people, they wiped them all out. There wasn't none of them, no more of them left, nowhere. You know, and that was just it. You ain't gonna see that no more species of African, even though 60,000 years ago they left the continent and went there. That cut deep. So I stopped believing that I could save 50 million black people.
Don't you mean 30 million black people in America?
No, it's 50. It'll be less than 30 by the time 2010 get here.
So the best move for us to do is pack up and move to Africa and put our time and energy into
If your ass don't know how to do nothing, your ass might better hang around here. Because you might get some welfare longer than... I'm talking about work, man. Your ass ain't gonna... No, I'm only talking about... Garvey said back to Africa selectively. He wasn't saying everybody. He said, look, can you do this? Before he put him on the boat. I'm talking about he right there with the manifest. What is your trade? What is your occupation? What do you do? What are you going to contribute to Africa?
I'm a devil slayer.
When they say you need to sign up with the Universal Negro Improvement Association's 15th Africa Corps, you know, because them niggas wasn't bullshit. They was fresh out of World War I. They know how to fight. They know how to use mechanization. They saw a tank. They worked the rifle. They was ready for the cracker. Why you think Malcolm X died on the floor of the Audubon Ballroom and Malcolm X died on the hotel goddamn tower in 1960s? But Marcus Garvey was way back in the 30s and cracker ain't even think about no pistol. He ain't even think about no pistol. Why? Can you answer that? Why?
I have no idea.
Guns, man. Guns. The white man speak pistol. He don't understand no shit about, you know, moral obligations. He don't think about that shit. It just think about that shit. Get it in your mind that this cracker think about how all his people can eat for yours. And that's it.
So we also talk about preventing European world domination.
Shit, I mean, you prevent some shit by stopping it before it gets started, though. No, we ain't talking about that. We talking about motherfucking trying not to be wiped off of this bitch. We talking about, you know, ain't no motherfucker, you know, lighter, darker than Holly Berry being on the earth. I mean, that's the real deal. I mean, it doesn't just take for that realization to be directly in front of your face for you to be able to realize that. But if it is, then you can never come back from it. So I take the chance that it is happening, and I believe in the evidence of it happening, so I commit myself to being on the side, and most importantly, as an African American, making the move, not doing the talk. Education ain't gonna save your ass. Economics ain't gonna save your ass. You can buy a $450,000 house and say you're gonna make an African Center school, an African Center, every damn thing in the world. That cracker say eminent domain. He'll come take it.
I mean, in the end, it's all about military power.
That's right.
I mean, everything in the last 500, 400 years has been controlled by military power.